That's right. The Replenish Rainstorm is here and it's going to wash all our troubles away. Hi, Sonder family. It is Jennifer Ogilvy. I will be your facilitator this evening as we work on this exclusive event, our Replenish Rainstorm. Welcome, welcome. It's a terrific Tuesday. I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas, where we finally got some rain this week, and we were fortunate we didn't go underwater. You can't People can't hear me. I'm not muted. Let's see. Maybe try it. Is every Can other people hear? Okay, other people can hear. Oh, no sound. Okay, you might need to okay, thank you guys. It's just been so weird with Zoom. Sometimes it's so funny. Alrighty, so Malika can give you a little support there. She is on the chat tonight. She's the facilitator who will be on the chat. So if you have any other concerns or questions, be sure to let Malika know, and she will try to point you in the right direction or help you resolve. So, Marion, you have subtitles because we've enabled subtitles. And I think there's a way you can turn that off if you don't want to see them. So again, you are here at an exclusive event. This is not anything that's found in your journal. So you'll want to be sure that you have something to write with and maybe a notes page or two available. And if you don't have those precious pages, feel free to just grab a blank sheet of paper, and then that will be where you can do your work this evening. And we're going to get pretty creative. So make sure you have markers and your colored pencils and pens, as well as maybe stickers. Okay, good, Sarah. I'm glad that we've got that sound straightened out for you. And hopefully, everyone else who was having issues will have that um, fixed up there. Everybody, double check, make sure that your chat is set to everyone, because as you know, the majority of our socials, we really glean a lot of information from one another. This community is amazing. And so we want to make sure that that chat is set to everyone so that you can share and encourage one another. So as you know, this month's theme, we're almost, I mean, it's hard to believe we're toward the end of August. It's been replenish. And I think some folks have said they've, we it's a great theme because we know we need to replenish ourselves and we know the things we need to do. I think we get kind of caught up in the making time to make those things happen. And so it is important to lean into the themes every month. It kind of helps us get to know ourselves better. And replenish is a very important part of our self care. So, our agenda tonight, we're going to do a replenish activity, and then we will work on that replenish rainstorm. And we're going to close with an activity that is based on some science about how we deal with feelings and emotions using the letters RAIN. And I'm very excited to share that with you at the end. So we are going to start tonight by taking 10 and reflecting to and replenishing. So you're going to take your journal, and I'll show you what my setup looked like when I did mine. We're going to make 3 lists, basically numbered 1 through 10. We're going to do the things we're excited about, looking forward to, things we're grateful for, and 10 things that we enjoy doing. So I set my page up like this. You can just do, 1 through 10 3 times. Alrighty, whatever works for you. And my list kind of looks like this. So the things I'm excited about, I've got a grandchild coming within about 3 weeks or so. Number 3, Mr. Crosby. So I'm major excited about that. We are getting closer to fall and some cooler weather. And I have a 50th anniversary coming up to down in the Houston area at the school that I used to be the director of. And I'm gonna get to kind of go home and do that. So lots of things to look forward to. Elton John in November, maybe a wedding for my daughter, Thanksgiving and Christmas, all those things that kind of come toward the end of the year. Football season. I love college football. I'll get to see family in October. And then I'm grateful for, my goodness, my list, just really reflecting on what brings me so much gratitude. That's like the top 10. Remember David Letterman used to do the top 10 things that you're grateful for. And then the third column are the things that I enjoy. What brings me joy? What helps me reset and gives me energy? So I am going to put some music on. Let me go back. Oops. Let me go back to that direction page. I'm going to put some music on so that you can dig in to your 3 list of the things you're looking forward to, that you're excited about, the things you're grateful for, and the things that you enjoy doing that just fill you with replenishment.
Rain.
So I love all the things that are going on your list. We've got new babies coming, new adventures for our children. Some are launching into high school and others are spreading their wings by going to college. It's such a busy time of year with all the getting back. I even feel busier and I'm retired from the world of education, but there's just something about September hitting, right? And just that fall, and we know the end of the year is coming. Oh, Carrie just shared she's grateful to be alive after having a heart attack last year. We're also grateful that you are with us. Oh, and I'm seeing some things. I love cheese. Cheese makes me happy too. It's great. It's so important to take time. There's a lot of science behind making lists like this and what it does for our mindset even on bad days. It's a really great place to turn to be intentional and mindful about the things that we do have to kind of help pull us out of maybe some not so great days. Thank you so much to everybody who shared, and thank you for working through this list and giving yourself that gift of being able to go back and celebrate the things that do give you replenishment. So now it's time to get very creative and dig into our replenishment rainstorm. Now, we're really lucky to be gathering tonight because this social has been done one other time already. I believe Maya led that social, and I was able to snag some awesome examples from our fellow Sonder family. And so I'll be able to share those with you. And then I'm going to just give you a lot of time to work on this, to share in the chat with one another about the things that you're thinking about. Our replenish rainstorm will kind of look like this, and I'll show you some examples. So if you want to hold off before you put your pencils to paper, we're going to draw clouds in the air with raindrops coming down and lightning. And it's important to remember how much replenishment rainstorms give back to the earth. We nurtures it, hydrates, things grow, lakes get replenished, but rainstorms also release things that that nice smell that we get. That's called petrichor, and it's when there's a lot of like weird bacteria kind of things happening when that wet hits the earth, and it releases a smell. And scientists are trying to figure out how to capture it because it makes humans we're especially susceptible to smelling and noticing that, and it brings endorphins when we smell that. So good things come from those storms. But in the lightning bolt, we're going to list out the negative things that we've been holding on to from our past, or maybe some of the negative self-talking that you do to yourself. We're going to let that go. We're going to put those in those lightning bolts. And then in the rain clouds and the raindrops, we're going to write all the things we can think of that give us energy and replenish us. And so here are some examples. And while you're working on your pages, I will scroll back and forth between these examples to inspire you if you're having a little trouble getting going. Because I think once we get going, whew, look out, get out of our way. But here's a couple you can see that um, there's rainbows, clouds. I love look, the having trust with the partners regarding work share and weight loss obstacles and health worries. Those are the things that are going to the it's on any page you want to do. But I will say, yes, page 19 is a replenishment sketch page, and there's not a social for that one. So if you'd like to use page 19, that's a great spot to use it if you haven't already done some kind of an activity there. Yes, good question, Kate. So that's an optional, you can put it on that or you can put it on a notes page. We'll keep looking. Here's some more. You can see some folks just did some list, boundaries and balance. We're working on that in our clouds. That brings us that replenishment here. And I'll just share, mine is here on the Right. So I can speak to what's on there since these other ones came from Sonder family. And I'm not sure, I don't want to overspeak and or speak out of turn for what they were representing on theirs. But I put a sunshine in that top corner and I put a quote. It's always sunny above the clouds. Always. Every day on earth, every day I've ever had was secretly sunny after all. And so Megan, I'll go right back to all the directions in just a sec. But the clouds are things that bring you that joy and replenishment. So I put curiosity and contentment and gratitude and joy in my clouds. And then I chose to do rain, like rain coming down and making puddles. And I did the ripple effect because I figure that's what happens when I get those replenishing things. Then it's a ripple effect into my world, into my family, into the people I interact with. So I chose to do those little rippled puddles. My things in my lightning bolt that I need to let go of, codependency, having past relationships in like family of origin kind of come back and it makes me do not positive things, and I go to places I don't need to go, so I need to give that up. I'm loyal to a fault, so being loyal is important, but if it affects me becoming a codependent, it's not good. I just suffer from worrying and lack of trust. That's just how I'm made. I over worry about everything. And then some negative self-talk. I have to work on that. I struggle with, I still at this age, still not real, always real happy with my tummy and my honey and that that body image stuff that I'm still working on. So I need to just put that in lightning bolt and let it flash away. So what we're going to do is I want you to think about any other things that you want to include in your rainstorm, maybe an umbrella, rain boots, raincoat, things that protect you, uh, a storm drain. Maybe that's where things just swoosh away and you don't ever deal with it. Lightning rod, slippery when wet signs. Maybe you create a section where you just put some things away over there and you avoid that. Wind, windshield wipers, puddles. What other things do you think of when you think of a rainstorm? And these are the directions. So I will put these on and we will scroll back and forth, but I will also show you some quotes as we sort of dig in. So we'll start with this, but then I have several slides that you'll see as we start working on these that will have some wonderful thoughts for you to embrace on your page. So without further ado, you can either jump into page 19, which is your Replenish sketch page, or a notes page. And anything that's coming to mind, please share in the chat. So, thank you to those of you who have shared in the chat kind of how you're framing this. I love that a few of you said, I'm getting those lightning bolts out of the way. And then we're going to lean in to the things that really do replenish us. And there is something so therapeutic about doing this in form of drawings and art and coloring and just really digging in. So I encourage you to continue your practice. And I will scroll back through those slides once again. And now I will have a bunch of slides with some wonderful quotes about the replenishment that we get from rain in case you want to figure out some spots to throw those quotes in. They can kind of be like your affirmation of how you are doing this replenishing rainstorm. Okay, so I know that some of you may be finishing up, and some of you may still want to dig into this prompt a little bit more thoroughly as you're drawing your rainstorm. But I do want to make sure that we have time. I wanted to share something, a really cool tool for practicing mindfulness when we feel overwhelmed by thoughts and emotions, which ties in perfectly to the work that you are doing this evening, this afternoon. So we're going to look at the word rain. And this was a technique developed many, many years ago, several decades ago, by someone named Michelle McDonald. And in recent years, someone named a therapist named Tara Brock, and Malika will drop her website in our chat in case you want to investigate what this rain thing is a little deeper. She brought it to the forefront to use as, again, a tool for practicing mindfulness. And so when we look at the letters RAIN, they help us remember how to sit with emotions and not let them define us, but figure out a way to just embrace them and work through them. And so the first thing we do is we look at R, which is recognize. And that is basically we just label that we are having a certain emotion. We're not putting any judgment into our feeling. We are honoring just how we are feeling and understanding that it could be making us feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't define us. So we recognize the feeling. The next thing is the letter A, which is acknowledge, accept, and allow. Any of those words that speak to you can kind of be used, and it's practicing just letting we're not trying to change our thoughts or feelings, because we need, I mean, we're having those feelings for a reason, but we just learn to normalize those feelings. So your feelings are never right and your feelings are never wrong. Your feelings just are. And so acknowledging those feelings, allowing them to be present, is a way to start working through those feelings. You don't have to justify how you feel. The letter I kind of turns us into a scientist. We're inquiring and we're investigating. We're going to collect data, again, in a judgment-free zone, and we start thinking about the emotion we're feeling and noticing if we are feeling certain things in our body. Are our shoulders getting tense? Do we have butterflies in our stomach? Are our hands getting sweaty? Or are we getting a little shaky? And we take those emotions and those feelings and we just um, acknowledge that they're there. We investigate. We say, okay, you're there. I gotcha. You're not going to define me. And then the nurturing step is the last part of the RAIN, an acronym. And it is observing those thoughts and feelings without becoming controlled by them. All righty. So it's a reminder to ourselves that we are not our thoughts. Okay. So we don't have to take those thoughts personally, if that makes sense. We're going to have bad days. We're going to have not so great feelings. It's part of being a human. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some rainy music. I'm going to go off camera and I'll walk us through a quick meditation of practicing thinking and embracing this rain meditation for those difficult times. So if you want to kind of still your body, maybe lower your gaze. And let me turn off my video and we will play some music. And I want you to maybe think about um, something that is just causing you some discomfort. Don't go to a really big thing. Maybe there's just a conversation you need to have. We don't want to go into anything super overwhelming right now. Just start paying attention to your breath, and we're going to recognize, what are you feeling? Is it fear or anxiety or something else? Does it involve another person? Or is it at a place? So think about a word that describes how you're feeling. It could be worry, anger, or stress. Do you feel muscle tightness somewhere or butterflies? Let's move into acknowledging and allowing. Just pause and notice what is happening. No judgment. Imagine that inner wisdom that you have says, this belongs here right now. Just be with it. It just is. Now, investigate. Do you notice anything in your body? Think about your beliefs around this. Are you clenching your teeth or jaw? Do you need to take a deep breath? It's important to feel both positive and negative feelings in our bodies. We walk around so often in our heads and we forget to notice what that's doing in our bodies. Explore all of this with compassion. We're going to look at the nurture part of this and remind ourselves that we are not our thoughts and we don't have to take them personally. Just imagine that you give yourself a gift that you would give a good friend. Love, acceptance, and compassion. Notice how you're feeling and lean into this rain meditation on days that are tough. I hope that this has provided you with a way to breathe through some of those rough times that may come up. Remember that rainstorm that you have drawn tonight to replenish yourself. Remind yourself of all the good things in your life. I'm so glad that you were here tonight. If you're not part of the Sonder family, the QR code is showing up on the screen right now. You can just scan that in, and that will take you to the app so that you can join the Sonder family. Also, remember that you are enrolled for your self-care gift raffle just by coming today. There are some other QR codes. If you are loving Silk and Sonder, refer a friend. There is a code for you to do that, and your friend will get a discount, and so will you. I think it was $10, but don't quote me. I have forgotten, or maybe a percentage off. The Sonder family code is down there at the bottom in the middle. The one in the middle at the top is for the survey. And then the all important YouTube link. Remember, that's a private YouTube channel just for you guys. That's in the bottom right hand corner, and you can scan that. It's not searchable when you go to YouTube and look for Silk and Sonder. You kind of get the public domain stuff. You don't get that private stuff. There is my playlist from tonight and or this afternoon, depending on where you are, and we will go out with a little rainy music. Sonder fam, I hope to see your pages in Sonder Club. If you are wanting to share, feel free to do that. And until next time, thanks for joining me.
I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good. Well, I love a rainy night, such a beautiful sight. I love to feel the rain on my face, taste the rain on my lips. In the moonlight shadows, showers wash all my cares away. I wake up to a sunny day, 'cause I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Well, I love a rainy night. Ooh, ooh. I love a rainy night. I love a rainy night. I love to hear the thunder, watch the lightning when it lights up the sky. You know it makes me feel good. Well, I love a rainy night, it's such a beautiful sight. I love to feel the rain on my face, taste the rain on my lips. In the moonlight shadows, puts a song in this heart of mine, puts a smile on my face every time, 'cause I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Ooh, I love a rainy night. Yeah, I love a rainy night. Ooh, ooh. Showers wash all my